one of the tools by which God raises standing men in seasons of darkness is that he brings them through the corridors of a discipler. A man who is obsessed about forging Christ in you. He does it by doctrine, he does it by prayers. My little children, for whom I travail again, that Christ be formed in you. He teaches, he goes back to pray. He teaches, he goes back to pray. He spots something that has not been worked by the word, he undergirds it by prayer.
This is Burning Coals with Apostle Tolu Agboola.
If you were one of the disciples and you felt that there was a ground of how do I put it now? A ground of qualification by which you found expression within the 12, you were wrong. None of them labored to be chosen. It was by Jesus' engagement with the Father that their essences as men were downloaded, and all of them were picked solely on the feedback of Jesus' inquiry as to who will give longevity to his earthly ministry. Are you with me? So like the disciples, they were chosen by an election of grace. You made your way into the kingdom also by grace. And was said to us yesterday that because he contended for you, your first assignment is to preserve the first ground. The first ground that he procured as a result of his contention. And that ground is you. So I found out that even though Jesus had it in mind to send men, by discussions with his Father, he knew that was not going to be gifted the privilege to run his ministry in the earth in person perpetually. He was going to commit it to men. By these men, new grounds, not just men, but territories will be brought onto the obedience of the Christ. What he did was that he started within a context of ministry. All of the 12 were made to sit with him, to learn not just about him, but to learn of him. To use a name to define the context of Jesus' ministry around the 12 is that what he was doing was called what? Discipleship. One of the things I found out is that the knowledge base of the average believer is overrated. Who was with us at Unilag? I looked into the crowd. They had been praying. They had been pressing. And I said, do you know that you can heal the sick? The first person said no. The second person said no. The third person said no. So I felt that maybe it was a localized reality that all of them, that because they were sitting together, they came together, meaning that they had been under a discipler that was, may God give you understanding. So I went to the other side. At least these ones did not come with these ones. Do you know that you can heal the sick? The brother dropped his head. He said no. So I had to explain to them that healing the sick is not fivefold reality, essentially. The fivefold can, but it is a basic sign that is used to differentiate him that has believed from him that has not. And these signs shall follow them that believe. Foundational issues have been sent up the ladder so that those who are on the lower rungs of the ladder feel that God's kingdom is like a customer care kind of thing. We were saved to be served. We were saved to be liabilities. You are like a rich man. You have too much, and because you don't know what to do with it, you decided to save men so that they can feed on your largesse. The call to be grounded in Christ has started again. And I hope you know that the curriculum in discipleship foundationally is not how to make money. Are you with me? Paul was a discipler par excellence. He said, when I came to you, I determined. And the determination is necessary because you can stray. Oh, you can stray, you can stray. The average minister knows more than he teaches. And so in the day that and there are easy things to teach. I said there are topics that I don't even know how to handle. They invite you to a conference and they say, come and teach us on getting to the top. And saying, where is the top? That's my first question. Where is the top? Or they tell you the theme of the conference is, you shall make it. What is it? Are you with me? I'm not saying it's wrong to take those invitations, but you see, they are more confusing to me than the crucified Lord. I understand that one. A person of influence. The last time I checked, Jesus is the influence of Jesus that I was called to advertise. Yes, if he rides on a donkey, the donkey comes into some degree of importance. But I'm not designed to project me. Are you with me? There is the scarcity of discipleship in our faith. One of the things that made our fathers strong is that they sat down to learn Christ. What was advertised to our generation was not Christ. What was advertised was the stage. So the press is not to apprehend Jesus. The press is to be able to do something that advertises you to be better than the rest, so that you can end up here. What happens with here is our own problem, because if you are projected here, we expect that a generation should follow you. If they start following you, what will they become? I've been screaming for like 6 years that some wicked men walked into the body, and they must have taken, they did an appraisal. Maybe they served questionnaires subliminally, and then they found out the things that we crave for, and then they build verses of scriptures around those things, so that you can be in church all your life, and the attempt is to make you look like you and not look like Jesus. If it was about you, then the cross was not necessary. A generation must understand the cross again. I was saying on Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, I said, do you know what did you study, Pastor Judah? Sir? Okay, it means you can answer my question. I don't want somebody that can answer my question. What are you studying? What are you studying? Are you in school here? Engineering. I want those social sciences. Anybody who studied maybe language or something? Who? Okay, what are you studying? English. It's good. It's good. Do you wash clothes? Do your clothes ever get dirty? What is the chemistry of the What is the chemistry of the relationship between soap and cloth that makes it clean? Because there are many substances. If you grind chalk and you put it in water, it's powder in water. If you put your clothes inside it and you rub it, it won't get clean. So what's the chemistry? You know it, but do you use soap? So it means you don't know how it works, but you believe that if you wash your body with Premier, you're going to be clean. So I was saying to them, I said, my Bible says, sanctify them by your truth. Thy word is truth. And a believer who believes Premier says, how can we be studying the word and we'll be clean? Well, in discipleship, you will stumble into the chemistry of how the word purges. Are you with me? What we call strength is not strength. The reason why we call it strength is that we are still running with men. The coming darkness has been prophesied. Isaiah saw it, and men who are with God still see it. And the antidote is that men who have the ability not just to do things but to resist, for with flattery he will corrupt as many as have done wickedly against the covenant. But they that know their God, they shall be strong and they shall do exploits. And I said to you, if what they called exploits for you is raising the dead, they lied, because the context was not the miraculous. The context was beating the strength of corruption. That a day will come when we'll all be deceived to bend, but there will be men who will still be standing. One of the tools by which God raises standing men in seasons of darkness is that he brings them through the corridors of a discipler. A man who is obsessed about forging Christ in you. He does it by doctrine, he does it by prayers. My little children, for whom I travail again, that Christ be formed in you. He teaches, he goes back to pray. He teaches, he goes back to pray. He spots something that has not been worked by the word, he undergirds it by prayer.
This is Burning Coals with Apostle Tolu Agboola.